understanding what are the norms, what are the business mechanics, what are the algorithms on those media, what are the governance and the regulations of those things is incredibly important in your go-to-market strategy. But because we don't spend time thinking about a go-to-market strategy, we just make a long list of features and hope someone will care when we yell it. We are neglecting thinking about the medium. And we think that the medium is as important as the product in the market.
And so, you've done a lot of thinking about this topic. You've done a lot of thinking about challenging the status quo, being subversive. Why is that important today?
So first of all, I want to say a lot of thinking was done with Emily Ross, my co-author, who is a fantastic thinker about all sort of shenanigans and subversive ideas. Comes from more of an agency and marketing background, whereas mine is a startup background. So it's definitely a book that is straddling the worlds of incumbent intrapreneurs and disruptive startups, which is kind of nice.
Which is an amazing intersection, by the way.
It is. And I think there are people reading this book to figure out what to look out for. Yeah. Like they're in their comfy status quo kind of world. They're trying to figure out what's going to disrupt them, which is an important tool too.
So why does the world need this book right
now? If you want to change the world, you need to recognize the system you're in and get it to behave in a way that wasn't intended by its creators. There are a lot of people who want to change the world for a lot of reasons. Some of them want to change politics, or they want to launch the new startup, or they want to introduce a new product, or they want to champion an idea. But the reality is that we've kind of lost the thread when it comes to marketing. I often ask startup founders, how many of them, show of hands, are worried about whether they can build the product versus whether anyone will care? And almost unanimously, everyone raises their hand to, I'm worried that no one will care.
Of course.
Right? I'm sure you've seen the same thing. And then I ask them, of the amount of time you spend, how much of it is spent building your product and how much is spent getting people to care? And 90% of them put up their hands saying they're spending all their time on building the product.
Yeah.
And there are hundreds of books on product innovation out there. There are almost no books on go-to-market innovation.
Well, and there's many of the books that are on, I'd say, that intersection of go-to-market and product are talking about things like product market fit. They're talking about customer evidence and sales traction that proves that you have a right to win in the market. You have a little bit of maybe a problem with that take. Do you want to tell me about that?
Yeah. Product market fit was great for a world where the medium that you connected between the product, you, and the market, your customer, was a one-way, one-to-many, boring broadcast medium. Sales guys picking up the phone, newspaper ads, TV commercials, broadcast radio, bus flyers, right? Like that was when I took marketing, and I'm old enough to remember this as being a fairly early take on marketing. We talked about 4 Ps: the product, the place, the price, and the promotion. Which one of those is the channel? It's not the product. It's not the promotion. It's probably not the pricing. Oh, it's place. The place is the channel. That like, let's be honest. That person wanted to make up 4-letter Ps, and the best they could come up with for channel is P.
Yep.
So place. Okay. What is the place? It's where the exchange happens between the buyer and the seller. I don't even know.
Yeah. Is it a linear foot of a retail shelf?
Right.
Like, what is this thing?
And so the reality is that the medium, which is the thing that connects the product to the market, is much more mature now. It is entirely possible for you to research a product category, find a vendor, select a product, provide payment, get the product, use the product, get support for the product, all on the same platform. That's a perfectly normal thing in the digital world.
Yes.
And to take this idea of the medium as this sort of afterthought is asinine. You need to have product market medium fit. Some products do really well in some mediums. Some markets are only accessible on some mediums. We need to think about the platforms on which we transact and the norms of those platforms. You say very different things on X from LinkedIn, from Facebook, for example. You behave very differently, and there are different mechanics in a WhatsApp chat thread than there are on a public post or something on Snapchat. And so understanding what are the norms, what are the business mechanics, what are the algorithms on those media, what are the governance and the regulations of those things is incredibly important in your go-to-market strategy. But because we don't spend time thinking about a go-to-market strategy, we just make a long list of features and hope someone will care when we yell it. We are neglecting thinking about the medium. And we think that the medium is as important as the product in the market.